Hey, what's up? So, I'm back with Venus in the partner's eighth house. Doom, doom, doom. Okay. So, really, Venus in partner's eighth house is really not all that doomful. Um, like maybe Moon in the partner's eighth house would be, Moon in your partner's eighth house could definitely be very dramaful. And I'm not saying that Venus in the eighth house is not dramaful, because it definitely has its drama, But Venus in the eighth house, these two people could really do business together, make money together, get married. This whole vibe screams marriage. Like once the Venus meets the eighth house person, it's this automatic feeling of let's get married or let's stick together some type of way, because these two can work together, and this could be let's work together or let's stick together, let's start a business, let's make a contract. These two, even if they can mentally link themselves in a contract together. It's kind of like, okay, well, we got this mutual understanding that this is what we do. Okay, it can be very hard to break these two people up. The Venus person loves that the eighth house person is extremely attracted to them, like on a deep level, and the eighth house person can easily be deeply attracted to the Venus person's looks. And it's not just necessarily looks for looks sake, it's the personality behind it, because the eighth house person is going to love the fact that yes, they got this Venus that they are highly attracted to, but at the same time they know parts of this Venus person that other people can't access, because the eighth house person wants, this is the deep house, okay? So the eighth house person wants interactions with Venus that Venus doesn't so easily or readily give to other people, or that Venus doesn't so easily or readily show. The eighth house person is able to get things out of the Venus person that they won't give other people. And this is including time, money, okay, or just admiration, okay? Now, let's flip it around, because while, yes, the eighth house person can get things like money and time from the Venus person definitely can get this money and this time from the eighth house person. The eighth house person may be willing to invest money into the Venus person, like their looks, their lifestyle, keep maintaining that lifestyle. Anything that the Venus person physically wants, the eighth house person will try to get them. The Venus person does this, and the eighth house person feels like it's okay for the Venus person to do this. Don't get it misconstrued. It's okay, because the eighth house person feels dedicated to the Venus person. The eighth house person is just like, I want to take care of you. I want it to be to where you get the lifestyle that you want. So if the Venus person requests something from the eighth house person, they're going to really try to get it and really try to do it. Now, this is the thing, because you guys are like, okay, well, hey, so far you're naming some pretty good stuff. Yeah, because I can see these two in a marriage. But this is the thing, okay? These two, there's some emotions that gets involved here, and we're touching a very sensitive part of the other person either way around. And these two have this thing, the Venus person looks at the eighth house person like, what is yours is what is mine. And the eighth house person looks at the Venus person like, I did these things for you. And this could definitely turn very ugly if things were to go wrong, because now you have a lot of stuff that was invested into maintaining the situation, or that automatically came with this relationship, that has to go somewhere. And now you have situations where what's been done for the other is being thrown up in the other's face, wanting to take back property. This could get ugly. It could get, really vengeful when there's a breakup or when they're mad at each other. It could get really vengeful. It's like this till death do us part tone. So I will say that it is important to understand that, when you get with each other, to really have things written, okay, things in writing. And I know this is hard to do, but I'm just giving some, some advice to it all. Like, coming together, okay, this is what I bring in, this is what you bring in. If you was to ever sue me, because lawsuits are laying here, are you giving me these things? That should be something that's clear. Also, try to do things and purchase things sometimes to where it's really outside of what the other person is giving or bringing in. So, the Venus person, don't make it all about what you can get from the 8th house person. And the 8th house person, allow the Venus person to kind of like do certain things on their own, because when these two come together, it's hard to really pull them apart. You start, like, money and time and just a lot of energy is invested with each other. Like, these two can get so caught up with each other. Okay, the moon in the 8th house is another thing, is similar. It's kind of like with the moon in the 8th house and Venus in the 8th house, it's a very, if it's a very, we start this, we're all in, or we don't start it. So usually if one person isn't ready or they're not all in, it won't really get off the ground. Same thing with the moon in the 8th house. So it really takes off when both people are like, okay, let's do this thing. Let's jump in all the way in, because it could be a very quick marriage. These two can get married very quick. Or start doing like investments and property very quick. Now, moon in the 8th house individuals together could get married very quick. Either one of these placements. Ooh. It could be very beneficial and lucrative, because this could be marrying into money, or when you marry someone and then you benefit off of them, or you marry someone and then together you build some type of very strong business or secure, like your lifestyle changes because of this interaction with this other person or interaction with each other. There's no one thing for sure, and two, like, for sure, there is no getting into this and out of this without something changing, without changes being made. Somebody's life is both people's life is changing significantly. How that happens, it depends on the person. Some people with these placements get together and they end up on drugs. They end up in, alcohol or obsessive interactions, even abuse sometimes. Okay? So you got to keep that in mind. But Venus in the 8th house is very addictive, very hypnotic, and it could be lucrative. So, it's that danger zone, okay? Danger! Watch it now. All right. So this has been Venus in the Partner's 8th house history. I am Butterfly to Light, and I'm gonna be back.